My name is Will Scott, and I'm the Yadkin Riverkeeper. The Yadkin River runs from the eastern slopes of the Blue Ridge Mountains down past Winston-Salem and Charlotte into South Carolina, where it becomes the PD, and then runs down to the Atlantic. Our basin has about 175 miles of streams above a series of lakes that then provide reservoir power and water for almost 750,000 people. So in the Yadkin Basin, one of the projects we've worked on is to put together an understanding of how many factory chicken farms there are in the basin. This isn't information that's gathered by the state of North Carolina the way that it is for permitted regular facilities like municipal sewage plants or industrial plants. So we found 2,200 chicken barns or factories in the upper Yadkin with about 25,000 chickens per barn. That's a total of around 55 million chickens at any given point. Now when the waste from those chickens is hauled out of those barns, it's then shipped all over the basin and applied on fields, and eventually it makes its way into the river. Also, now when these chicken barns are scooped out, they take a tractor, they pile it up, they let it sit, and it's supposed to be covered during that period. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, but you can picture these sort of house-sized piles of chicken litter. It's then loaded into trucks, but it's not hauled too far because that's quite expensive. When you put it on the fields, it can come out as dry as dust, but when the rain comes down, it turns into sort of a mud, sort of a slurry. It runs off. You can see the river running red and brown when you get these big rain events, and a lot of that is just chicken waste coming down into the tributaries, settling on the bottom, and making its way into the main channel. You know, we've been working with folks who live around Pilot Mountain, people who live there and move there because of the natural beauty of the area, and they'll tell you that you can smell that ammonia coming off of these chicken houses and off of the litter that gets applied. It causes nausea, it causes dizziness, people can't hardly stand to live next to it, and there's no controls right now over where you can really put chicken barns. Local governments don't have control over it. If there's land that's zoned agricultural, you can put a barn there. So there's no protection for neighbors right now from the stench of chicken barns or chicken litter. There's all kinds of health concerns with the application of chicken litter. You've seen localities move to get it away from schools. A lot of the time when it's applied, you'll see it blowing across roads and onto adjacent property, and that particulate matter and that bacteria can get into people's lungs and can get into their houses. So this is really a local health concern wherever you have litter application. It's like, you know, I grew up in Chatham County just off the Haw River, and I grew up playing in the river, but when you did, you had to take a shower afterwards when I was a kid because there was so much industrial and agricultural runoff. So it's always been close to my heart. You know, I went to law school, I became a lawyer, and I worked with the Southern Environmental Law Center, and I saw us representing riverkeepers, and that these were the folks in their communities closest to the ground who were bringing attention to problems that a lot of folks just didn't recognize were even there. And so when I thought about what I could do that was best for North Carolina, I thought that, you know, being a riverkeeper was it.